Hip Hop News episode 22, man. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so. Joe Budden is accused of beating his girlfriend. Now, back in the day, he was accused of the same shit with Extra Baxter. He talked about it in the song, where I guess he quote-unquote beat her and lost the baby, lost his twins. He said he didn't hit her. Tahiri then came out and said what she said about him. Everybody call him Bipolar Joe, you know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm not going to say that this story don't seem far-fetched, he is one of them type of niggas that we're, because we know our own. When you love so fucking hard and so deep, someone call it bipolar, someone call it crazy, but you just love so hard and so deep, it's just as simple as shit, you know what I mean? But it make you react in a different way than you would normally react if you didn't care about, you know what I'm saying? So he has trust issues. Joe Budden has abandonment issues. I know for a fact he have abandonment issues because of the way he act. I really should understand. Not saying anything revealing off myself, but I can just tell when it's shit like this. Now, have I ever hit a female? Nah. Never like that. I mean, now if a bitch swing, it's over with. Like, you got sit your ass down. But you just don't go because you text her and she didn't respond. You can yell at her and flip like, bitch, what you doing? Like, what the fuck is up with that shit? Because, you know, she sent you a text, you don't, she wigging. You dig what I'm saying? So I understand what's going on with him. I don't get why he did it if he did it. Because you can't, I mean, you see the bruises? They said that she got her ass beaten worse than what Chris Brown did to Rihanna. Now, wow. Because we all seen that mugshot. And all I seen from the bitch was the legs. Like, damn. To bruise a motherfucker, you got to hit him very, very hard. I mean, I grab a bitch and I can bruise them just by grabbing them, but I never just took off on a bitch like that and bruised her like that, because you going to jail off a bruise, you feel me? But at the end of the day, I don't know what's wrong with this nigga Joe. Like, then I heard he got a fucking warrant out for stealing a bitch phone. Some what bitch 21 or some shit. Joe out here on one. Is this nigga on drugs again? Let's keep it real. Is he off the motherfucking mollies again? Cause nigga, what is you taking bitch's phone for? She snapped a picture of you or some shit or some crazy shit, or you text her, she didn't reply. This nigga out here wilding. I knew he was crazy and bipolar when this nigga dated Kaylin, and I heard about him when he rapped about her in Off to the Races, right? When he was talking to Tahiri like some, it ain't even about Kaylin. Come to find out, this bitch is what? Barely 20, 21 or some shit like that? And what this nigga pushing, 40? At least he 35, 36, 37. So I'm like, yo, where do you find this bitch at a fucking college campus? I knew he was off there because what the fuck do you have in common? And if this was the bitch he was rapping about, talking about she was homeless, and y'all heard that fucking song that he rapped on his album and the mixtape, if it's about Kaylin, like this bitch, basically this bitch was homeless and he rescued her, you know what I'm saying, like a stray dog or some shit. And if that's the situation, what the fuck did you have in common with her? So when the nigga was doing Molly the whole summer, this must have been the bitch he was doing drugs with. I looked at that's more of a drug partnership than a relationship, because it didn't even go nowhere. And I think she started fucking with one of the Bay Area niggas other than that, but her fame went to, she ain't famous, but she got fame off that. And then, you know, he kind of threw that bitch under the bus. And she really didn't acknowledge the nigga. She threw him under the bus. But he been going through this shit for a minute as far as crazy shit. Like when the nigga was hiding under Tahiri's bed when she got home. And then on the fucking Love and Hip Hop shit, he admitted it. Not even that, if you go back and go on YouTube and check Joe Budden TV when they having a conversation and bitch was talking about like, yeah, you under the bed, da 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 da. And it's like, that ain't copacetic. Like, why are you under this bitch bed? That was weird. Like, you broke into her shit, or you had a key from what he said, but you under the bed. Like, that's weird as fuck. That's past stalker shit. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't know what to think. Like, being a woman beater is not a good look, bro. Like, if you is Joey, you gotta knock that shit off, my nigga. Like, you hold the record for pulling bad bitches. I don't know how he does it, but he been pulling the baddest of bitches for the longest time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he paying these hoes or, but it seemed to be genuine. Like, it seems to be real to the point where they have some type of love for him on some real shit. But I think it's because of the passion that he has, and you know, like I said, one can see it in somebody else where you can convey certain emotions and certain feelings across in a different light. You know what I'm saying? If you got a bitch that's materialistic and she thinks that's what it is, if you shred that shit down and show her this is the shit you really feel, and you put that her heart right there, of course you can persuade her that way, because all she used to is a pair of shoes, a purse, a bag. But if you actually show her that that shit means nothing, you shallow, you know what I'm saying? You swimming in a fucking deep end, but you can't swim, so you gonna drown. You gotta show her this is how you stay afloat. So I get, you know what I mean, how he does it, but that's just part of manipulating bitches. Like, let's keep it real. He be manipulating the fuck out them hoes. Mind games and the son of a bitch. How you gonna ask a question? A motherfucker asks you a question, he asks a question back. Like, I used to be a master manipulator though, you feel me? Like, you can make a motherfucker think they doing something wrong when they ain't did shit wrong. Joe Budden, you a slick motherfucker though. But nah, beating on bitches is not cool. Women, whatever, unless they really just do something to like take you there. Like if your mom or grandma did, or a loved one, and they cross that line, I don't know how many niggas that let a bitch sit there and say fuck your mom without taking her head off. But if it's something like that, I mean, yeah. But other than that, what, she call you broke? Are you broke, nigga? The way you always flexing and shit. I mean, them shoes you be running, even though it's petty, and cars and shit, I mean, you gotta have some type of bread, right? So I just want to know what I just think it was some insecure shit. She probably was texting another nigga, you know what I mean, and he got caught up in his emotions from the bitch saying, oh, I love you, I'm in love with you, yada yada yada. But keep it real, she looked like a fake ass Tahiri, and Tahiri boyfriend, if they still dating, look like a fake ass Joe Budden. That's keep it real. Those motherfuckers need to get back together. They made for each other. But I mean, I don't know, maybe he had a flashback of Tahiri or some shit and went upside this bitch head. Like, who the fuck knows? Like, you know what I mean? He seemed like the type of nigga that could be sitting there smashing her shit and calling bitch the wrong name, and she like, my name, shut up bitch, Tahiri. Like, you know what I mean? Like, on some real shit. But I don't know, man. If this nigga really beat her, that's sad. But do you think he got framed, y'all? Do you think another nigga beat the bitch, and because he has the history of it, she went and said it was him? I don't know. But let's talk about it though, man. Joe Budden, Bipolar Joe. 1.